Hey guys, welcome back to the Merchant Services Slayers group and also the introduction, the 5-part video series on the introduction to merchant services. And today we're going to be talking about video number 2 or part 2, which is the mindset going into merchant services. Very, very important video, guys. We run Centrix, which is also a lead generation source for ISOs. A lot of very, very big ISOs use us. We also run our own ISO. Second thing that we also do too, guys, we actually have a recruiting product, which means that we have callers consistently using different tools to gain resumes, people looking to get into merchant services, those that are in sales that are not looking into getting into merchant services. So we have a ton of experience and a lot of knowledge on having conversations with individuals that get into merchant services. And the biggest thing that I see is the failure to understand the mindset going into this industry and why so many people fail, which means they get into it, it's too competitive, they're not doing things right, they're not successful, they're not breeding competition, they're not really getting in front of merchants and saying the right things, they're not doing the right steps, and therefore they get out of the industry and say, hey, I can't do this. Well, it's because first off, going into this industry, guys, you need to have the right mindset in order to be successful. Okay, now I don't mean to come off as sounding like we run an MLM or anything like that, but guys, at the end of the day, credit card processing is not a multi-level marketing. It's not direct sales. It's not fake going to church and having mixers at my house and selling friends and family. It's not that. It is hardcore sales. It is definitely a professional position. You sell a deal and you make money. You build up an asset and you sell your portfolio, you make money. It's very simple. So keeping that right mindset is going to really help you, especially if you're getting into merchant processing or merchant services. So we're going to talk about 3 things today in part 2 that are going to help you understand the right mindset so that when you walk into your office tomorrow, you walk into your merchant tomorrow, you have that right mindset and you can sell more deals. So number 1, understand the competition. You need to understand that this industry is very competitive, which means that there are a ton of people doing it wrong and only a very small amount of people that are doing it correctly. You want to sound like the people that are doing it correctly. When you walk into a merchant, you don't need to walk in and say the same thing that everybody else says, because those people get kicked out of the business. You don't want to pick up the phone and make the same call that everybody else does, or they're going to hang up on you. So it's important to understand is that you need to craft your pitch, craft your skill set, learn a foundation, and then craft your personality. The more personable that you are in this industry, and the more of a human being that you are in this industry, the more people will buy from you because you're not full of crap. Okay, which brings me to number 2 is that you need to understand is that you need to sell like a chameleon. In this industry, being very competitive, what's the number 1 thing that you can rely on? You will get a ton of rejection. You're going to get a ton of rejection. That's going to happen. In professional baseball, you will fail. It's a game of failure. Okay, if you go up to the plate and you hit the ball 3 out of 10 times, on a test, you would fail. In baseball, you'd get paid millions of dollars, which means they get tons of rejection, tons of mental stress, tons of no. Okay, so it's important to understand is that you need to sell like a chameleon. There's always a different perspective. There's always a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. And there's always a way around an objection. And once you get that mindset that you have that, is that you can take that rejection and not leave the business or not hang up the phone call and not give up on that merchant. Again, the end result with you providing your services to your client is that they save money and they also have a lot of other value-added propositions that come along with it, right? So the harder you push and you will finally crawl and scream and kick and finally sign that deal, the only end result is this merchant is going to be saving a ton of money. They're going to be happy with their service if you pick the right company, and they're going to be happy. So all that fluffy rejection and all that crap before that's going to send you out the door, okay, in an appointment or a presentation or a phone call, okay, is all crap until you arrive at the close. So keep that in mind, is you need to sell like a chameleon. There is always another way of looking at it. There's a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. Oh, they didn't have a statement. There's always a way to get one, okay? If they kicked you out because they didn't take the appointment, doesn't matter. You're there now. You're in front of the decision maker. They breathe. You have the ability now to have a conversation. Oh, they just signed 3 weeks ago. Great. They have a contract that you can pull from the desk. If they just signed it, it's probably fresh. It's right there. We can do analysis off the contract. That's better than a statement. Forget the statement. Okay, especially if you're selling cash discount, you don't need the contract or the statement. You need some rough numbers. Okay, so keep that in mind is that you need to sell like a chameleon. There's always a way to move forward. Jordan Belfort talks about this too, guys, straight line sales. The objective of your merchant is to kick your ass out that door. The objective of your merchant is to give you an excuse why not to do business. Why? Because of number 1, it's competitive. There's too many people doing it. right? So if you can rely on that, you'll know how to move yourself forward in this industry and push everybody to the side. Become that 1%. And then number 3 is that you need to use rejection as a tool. Too many people use rejection of blaming it on someone else. Oh, that was a shitty appointment. Oh, that merchant is just one of those jacks. You know, oh, this was this. Okay, and that constant blame is literally you just got rejected. You lost the deal. You got kicked out of your appointment. You got the phone hung up on you. But instead of actually using that rejection as a tool to get better, you use that rejection as negativity to where, oh, you blame it on someone else in the industry. No, it's your problem. You need to learn from that rejection. If you get rejection, guys, and you keep getting that rejection, that constant rejection, if you learn from that, that rejection slowly starts to go away. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. Use that rejection as a tool to better yourself. What could I have said differently? How could I have approached the merchant differently? How could I have given my presentation differently? Should I have used my sales tools, called my manager? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? Okay, close the case, move on to your next opportunity. Okay, keep that in mind, guys. Thanks for tuning in the Merchant Service Slayers group. Click on the link below to go to part 3 of this video series, How to Sell. Talk to you soon.